Hey everybody, welcome back to the item shop. Today we're going to be going over my first impressions with Trails Through Daybreak, as well as an unboxing here. We're going to try to multitask this and try something a little bit different today. I hope you enjoy it. I have a couple of versions of this right now. This is the Switch version, and I actually have been playing the PlayStation 5 version of the game, so tell you what, I have too many of these, so I'm going to need to do something about that. I'll talk about what I'm going to do with the extra version of this game here a little bit later on, but for now, let's go ahead and break the seal on Trails Through Daybreak. So Trails Through Daybreak is not a very, what I would call a very typical Trails game at this point. Having played through, I'm not very far in. I got this in the mail when I was on my trip to Pennsylvania, when I was attending too many games, so I couldn't actually put more time into this that I would like to have. But man, from what I have played, it's shaping up to be really, really good. There we go, Trails Through Daybreak. This is... oh, that is a gorgeous cover, isn't that? Anyways, Trails Through Daybreak is not your typical Trails game, at least so far from what I've played, which I've only gotten through the prologue, which in this case, it's obviously not your typical Trails game because the prologue is only like a normal amount of time, like 6 hours. And that's pretty good. So I haven't gotten to experience the whole thing. So that's why we're going to be doing this unboxing as well. You know, I feel like I have enough information to go off of to tell you that it starts out quite a bit differently. We're not playing as bracers or the SSS or anything like what we've done in the past. We're not a school in a military school or anything. It's actually the hero Vaughn is what they call a Spriggan, and a Spriggan in this world is, best I can figure it, some sort of like private eye who may or may not always operate within the realm of lawful good. I mean, he doesn't seem like a bad guy, not by a long stretch, but I mean, he does seem open to flexibility when it comes to the rules. And he's approached by this gal this dame who has a tough case for him to crack. She's trying to track down her grandfather's memento, and it's an ornament that looks kind of like an old-timey stopwatch, you know, or pocket watch. Yeah. Oh, I got a business card case. I like business cards. I don't have very many business cards. Japan actually takes business cards pretty seriously. It's kind of an interesting distinction between our countries. They feel very proud of their business cards, and you hand them to them. And anyways, I think this is Vaughn's business. Arkwright Solutions Office, complicated matters only. That's right. That's one of the things that he does mention is that, ooh, that's nice. I like this a lot. I need to start collecting business cards. That's got some little fidget toy capacity in here. You know, yeah. Oh, so anyways, he's a Spriggan for hire, and he only takes complicated jobs, the kinds of jobs that you can't take to the police and that you can't take to the Bracer Guild. In fact, when the dame walks into his office looking for a job at first, he looks at her and says, "You look too innocent for this gig, sweetheart. You come back a little later on." It feels kind of like a 1950s mobster movie, you know, where you find out later on that it was a setup from the beginning and that she had killed her own husband or something. But I don't think that's going to be the case this time around. Maybe. You never know. I don't think so. Based on what I've seen, she seems like a pretty awesome character. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head. That's a bad start. But anyways, that's the business card case. That is cool. I'm sure I'll remember her name here very soon. Oh, yeah, we'll go through here with the flashcards. There's a lot of characters that it introduced this time around. That's one of the cool things about this game that I'm really excited for, is that it feels like it's going to be a really good opportunity for a lot of newcomers to get into the Trails series, because it does not have a whole lot of recurring characters so far. I've noticed one that they've hinted at, a little pink-haired girl with black ribbon. But we've got Gloria here. These are kind of like postcard style, like little character profile cards. That's kind of neat. We got Golden Blood. I'm not sure who that is. She's got. I don't know. Maybe that's not who I was just thinking of, was it? And then we got Sober Curious. What is this? Sober Curious. Perfect Driver 2. A poster for... Oh, these must be like movie posters and stuff in the game. Okay. I'm not sure which this one is. So these aren't just characters that are in the... Okay, see, I haven't gotten far enough in the game to really appreciate a lot of these, but I can say that these photo printouts are very nice. And are of high glossy quality. I'll set this aside here as we continue to work our way through the goodies. Oh, here is the Switch version of the game, and this is the version that I think I'm going to be giving away at the end of today's show. So for additional details, stick around. But yeah, I figure I've got the PlayStation 5 version and I got the Switch version. I want to keep the PS5 version for myself, and I feel like more people have a Switch anyway. So it's got the deluxe edition inside it. So let's go ahead and open up the deluxe edition, see what's included. So within the deluxe edition, we have a warranty card. I'll set that aside for now. We've got a reversible cover, so I could switch it out for this side if I want to, but I'll just leave it as is. It has also, it looks like, a little manual within it. Yes, it's not a manual, it is a mini art book. That's got me pretty excited. So yeah, it's just a mini art book, nothing too crazy. But this is just, it's included with the deluxe edition of the game. So you could get this by itself for less than the limited edition. And there's a downloadable code for a digital soundtrack in here as well. Falcom music is always so stellar. So you'll definitely want to, take advantage of that download code. But I'm going to not show that on today's video. I want the person who gets this to actually get it, right? What else is included in here? Oh, that would be the steelbook case. Oh man, so if you've got a bunch of steelbooks like I do, this will allow it to fit in seamlessly into the rest of your collection, along with some beautiful artwork inside the steelbook case here. Do I really want to give this away? I mean, I have every other steelbook Switch game. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. Moving along, we've got whatever this is. I've been living under a rock. I'm really not sure what's in this at all. So let's see. Is this maybe a soundtrack, a physical one? I don't know. And inside, yes, it is the soundtrack. Oh, this is like the this is like the giant Arcus. Well, it's not an Arcus in this one. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like the giant orbment that they have. It's like a flip phone, but it's massive. That's what this looks like to me. If I take out the soundtrack disc, that is exactly what it is. You can see like the little quartz crystals in here and stuff. Stellar choice there, NISA. That's a nice touch. All right, I'll set that aside. And then we have Pièce de Résistance, the Trails Through Daybreak art book. And this is where things get really nice. So is this... Okay, at first it looked like a guide, but it's more like not a guide, but it does go over various locations here within the game, provincial cities, some vehicles. Okay, so it's an art of the vehicles, emblems and logos, all these different kind of logo design ideas. Ah, that's right. That's her name. It is. It looks like Agnes, but it's not. It's Agnes. The G is silent, and it's like an Inye. It's Agnes, but it's okay. So that was what was confusing me before. That's why I couldn't remember her name. It's because it's a little different. So cut me some slack. So Vaughn and Agnes feel like the main characters of this game, and in the game already, I feel like there's some chemistry between them, and I don't want to say like romantic chemistry or whatnot because she's still in some sort of school, and I don't know if they're going for that, but it feels like there's already some sort of like bond between them. And by the end of the prologue, where you get the something special, they're not doing like giant mecha robots this time. It's almost like Guyver. Oh man, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's like this transformation thing, kind of like Wild Arms 2, where the character can transform into like a giant beast of his self. It's cool. It's really neat. It already feels a bit darker than a lot of the previous Trails games that I've been playing through. You know, there's been a murder, there's been blood, there's been mobsters and intrigue, and you know, it very much feels to me like a 1950s like mobster detective sort of scenario. And then just throw in like the Guyver on top of that. And you know, it's not just turn-based. I was really concerned about the game at first when I heard that it was going to involve some action RPG combat, and it's there, but it's kind of just an expansion of what was already there with the Cold Steel games, where you could attack monsters outside of combat to get the drop on them. You can actually just keep attacking outside of combat, and then when you're ready, you can throw down crystals to begin the turn-based RPG combat mechanics. And you know, it's so much better and more seamless than I feared that it could be. You know, I would say that the action RPG combat is not quite like, you know, an East level of fun gameplay, but you have dodging abilities and action RPG abilities, and there's some new mechanics, and I feel like I'm just still dipping my toes in, because again, it is just the beginning, but I cannot wait to dive deeper into Trails Through Daybreak. But for the time being, I still got to get through Reverie. But again, this feels like a pretty good entry point for anybody who has been on the sidelines. I've heard from others that it's pretty well self-contained. There will probably be some references and some characters that show up eventually that you'll want to be familiar with to get the full experience, but I think you got to start somewhere, and this does seem like not a bad place to start, all things considered. Now, how am I gonna say who gets this? There's not gonna be any like, congratulations, you're a winner down in the comments. None of that stuff, because as we all know, that is full of scammers at this point. So what I'm going to do is have a link to my Discord in the description here. Join up and sign up for the YouTube notifications. There's a spot there where you can click an emote to get notifications. And then that way I can just send out notifications that way and bypass YouTube's algorithm about whether they decide to tell you when I put out a video or not. So that's how it's gonna go. I'm gonna pull a random winner from that lot of people who have clicked that emoji to be signed up for notifications. And in a week from now, I will pick a winner, and I'll reach out through Discord. So yeah. I don't normally do a whole lot of giveaways because I feel like it opens up so much, you know, and I know not everybody uses Discord. That's my rules, and I'm sticking to them. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's unboxing / first impressions of Trails Through Reverie. It was completely unscripted. I have no idea if I did a good job or not. I'm gonna have to figure it out in the edit, but until next time, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.